Hello everyone, this is Dr. Pooja Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. Today we are here to learn about a very interesting topic, channels of communication, from Unit 4 of the subject Business Organization and Communication. Let us take a quick look at the learning objectives of this module. We'll start with what is a channel. We'll be focusing on the formal channel of communication, the features, advantages, shortcomings. We'll then move on to informal channel of communication, focusing mainly on grapevine patterns, advantages and disadvantages of grapevine, effective curve on grapevine, and how to use grapevine effectively. Let us understand as what is a channel. The word channel means the point through which communication passes from the sender to the receiver. There are two broad channels of communication. Number one, formal channel of communication, and number two, informal channel of communication. Now, formal channel of communication, all the information circulated among the employees in black and white is considered as written communication. In an organization, it flows through prescribed channels which all organizational members are obliged to follow. Bulletins, diaries of employees, pamphlets, magazines, in-house letters, brochures for internal circulation among the staff, suggestion boxes. Even these are encouraged to encourage the involvement of the employees. Good suggestions are even awarded. Formal communication is often slow and rigid, especially when there are several authority levels in between the sender and the receiver. They are generally in the form of policy manuals, procedural handbooks, orders, scheduled meetings, memoranda, conferences, special interviews, company news bulletins, information regarding promotion, termination, suspensions of particular employees. Formal communication may flow in any of the following directions. It could be downward communication from the top management to the middle or the low level. Upward communication from the lower or the middle to the top management. Diagonal communication among the people who are neither at the same level of the hierarchy nor in the same department. For example, assistant manager marketing talking to the accounts clerk. Horizontal communication from one department to the other at the same level. Multi-directional communication, every worker is free to talk to his co-worker as well as talk to his officers. Features of formal communication. Authorized way of communication, number one. Number two, it provides authentic information. It is a proof of receiving information. Messages are communicated through the scalar chain. What are the advantages of formal communication? It constitutes the greatest medium for conveying information in an organizational structure. It can be further sent to many people in the same organization. It can be recorded for reference purposes. The branches and sub-branches can be communicated the same information. The words used are drafted with the help of 4 C's: clarity, correctness, complete, and concise. It's taken seriously and action becomes mandatory if the communication is formal. Now let us look at some of the limitations of formal communication. Secrecy cannot be maintained in this channel of communication as the letter passes through many hands. It's a lengthy procedure as it takes a lot of time to read, understand, and then respond. It is a very expensive type of communication. How? Because there is a proper setup which is required even by a small organization. Once a written communication is dispatched, there is very little scope for rectification. Now moving on to a second channel of communication, informal channel of communication. It's also called secondary network of communication. These are existing in all organizations and they form a strong parallel network to the formal channel of communication. It's also called as grapevine. Understand? Grapevine. The grapevine is a word for gossip. Anything heard on, a word of mouth, right? From the American Civil War to the First World War, communication was done through grapevine telegraph, which was a gadget used. From there, people started talking about the grapevine as a source of information, especially gossip. Let us read more details about it. This type of communication is free from all formalities planned in an organization. People discuss personal as well as organizational matters. It is a channel of horizontal communication, works very fast like a rumor spreading throughout the organization, easily bypasses the chains of command. There is no formal path. This message may be conveyed by single glance, a gesture, or a nod, or a smile. Right? So now we'll be talking about a very important topic, grapevine patterns, also called as communication networks. These were given by Keith Davis. He identified 4 different networks for transmitting information through the grapevine, which are as follows. So number 1, single strand chain. Number 2, gossip chain. Number 3 was called probability chain, and number 4 was called cluster chain. So let's concentrate on single strand chain. Now what I told you about grapevine, that grapevine is a gossip, a word of mouth, spreading fast, very quickly, like a rumor. So look at the diagram. What is it saying? That A is talking to B, B is talking to C, and C is talking to D. So how is the information flowing in single strand chain? The information flows from one person to the other in a sequential order, and that is why it is called as single strand chain. Let's move on to the second one. Again, remember, this is grapevine, it's a rumor, and we are talking about a business organization. Imagine you are sitting in Amazon, right? So this chain is characterized by a group of people around you to discuss matters of mutual interest. So here you see that you are sitting at L and there are so many of your colleagues who are sitting at different other positions. One person seeks out to the other person and tells about that particular news that he has heard. It's used to relay interesting bit of news among the co-workers. Okay, so I hope you've understood till here. Now let us focus on the third one, which is called as probability chain. Again, very simple. I hope this is not very difficult for you. Just look at first at the diagram and then try to understand. Now, probability chain, in this individuals are indifferent to the persons to whom they are passing on this information. Like for example, if I go back to my apartments in the evening and go back and tell all that rumor which is going on in my organization to my neighbors, which is of no concern to them. So this is called as probability chain. It is found when the information is interesting but not of any significance to the person whom I'm telling it to. So I hope I'm clear here. So you are telling that information in the evening about the organization where you're working. Let's say you're working with Intel. What is happening in the office to your parents? You're telling it on phone to your friends. So that is probability chain, right? Next, we move on to cluster chain. So what are we doing? Grapevine patterns. So this is the most popular form of grapevine pattern. Information is passed on selective basis to a few members only. The first sender informs to a few chosen individuals who further inform to the other selected chosen group of individuals, and this way the information gets communicated, that particular rumor, it gets communicated to the entire organization. Choice of recipient depends on the content and the intent of the message, right? I hope you have understood all the 4 types of grapevine patterns. Whenever you are reading, or whenever you are going through the module, read or look first at the diagram and then try to understand the written material so that it stays on in your mind. Now next I'm going on to Advantages of grapevine. So remember what we were talking about, these 4 grapevine patterns or networks that we call. And now we have to understand that how we are going to use this particular rumor or gossip, as an advantage to our organization. Suppose you're the HR head in Maruti. I hope you all are aware about the HR head who was there in Maruti Manesar plant. And what happened over there? He could not understand the grapevine that was taking place in his organization, and finally he was shot dead by his own employees. Now, why did it happen? This means that grapevine is the pulse of the organization. You as an employee, you as the manager, you as the manager sitting at the top management level need to understand what are the advantages of grapevine. It is rather cheaper as no labor or stationery is involved. Effective overwritten communication. Chances of doubts are less and they're minimized in fact. Why? Because when I'm communicating to you, right? Suppose I'm the sender and I'm talking to you about something, you'll immediately ask me a clarification. There are certain limitations of formal communication which require support of grapevine. So the most important advantage we need to understand, its psychological satisfaction is the pulse of this particular type of communication. Like-minded people in the organization, they form groups. So as a manager, if you are the HR head, you're the marketing head, you need to understand what are the advantages and not always take grapevine negatively. Now, what are the disadvantages of grapevine? Let's focus on that. It carries incomplete communication because it's not supported by anything that is formal. Authenticity can often be challenged. That suppose I come and tell you something which is happening in an organization, or your co-worker tells you something, or you're sitting in the office bus or an office van or an office cab and somebody tells you something. So authenticity needs to be rectified there and then. Gossip definitely damages the image of the organization. Suppose you are going and telling about this particular gossip to the neighbors, from there it is getting communicated to other people all across the city. So gossip definitely damages the image of the organization, and we need to focus on this particular disadvantage of the grapevine. Okay, so how can we effectively curb on grapevine? We as managers, we at top level managers, once you finish your studies, you get good placements, you need to understand how to effectively curb. Why are we using this word effectively? Because we should not put a full stop. Why? Because we have tried to understand the advantages of grapevine. The organizations create open door policies. You can walk in any time into the top management level rooms and inform the employers about what you are hearing. You can discourage rumors, appraise each and every employee, try to make them happy, try to reward them, and that will be also good for the growth prospects of the organization. Build a one-to-one relation with the managers as well as with your team members. This will also discourage grapevine. Now the last very important thing which we also need to understand, now how to use grapevine effectively. We need to understand this. You must have noticed that in this particular module, we are giving under the informal channel of communication a lot of focus on grapevine. Why? The managers should keep an eye on rumors. Managers must ensure that harmful rumors can tarnish the image of the organization. It should be used as a means to feel the pulse of the employees. In case of any false rumors, the manager should immediately take steps with the help of the top management to use official channels to contradict and to dispel the fears of the employees. The workers should be involved in decision-making processes. Meetings should be conducted to spread the information of grapevine. The managers or the top management or the middle management level managers, they should try holding meetings with their employees, right, who are below them, or with the workers once in a while in the factories or public sector companies. It could be with the trade union leaders to spread information. Whenever they try to keep the information to themselves, that is the time that people start estimating or guesstimating and the rumors start spreading. Now it is time to take a quick recap. So what were we doing in this particular module? We started with what is a channel. Then we tried to understand the broad channels, the formal channel of communication, the informal channels of communication. Written communication formed the basis of formal channel of communication, and in case of informal channel of communication, we tried to understand that grapevine is very important and how it can be curbed in the organizations. Now, before we end, let us look at a few questions related to this topic from the examination perspective. A question can come to you, what is meant by channels of communication? Explain. The second question could be, what are the characteristics of formal communication? How does it differ from informal communication? And the third could be, what is grapevine information? How can you curb it effectively? The fourth question can be, enumerate the objectives and importance of formal communication. How can it really be made effective? And many more such short type questions or MCQs can come from this particular module. I've also given you certain suggested readings. There are certain books which you can even download as PDFs, which are available on internet. Various books are there. I suggest you to also surf internet and find out some more interesting and relevant information on channels of communication, various examples from the business organizations, because this is a part of your business organization and communication subject. See you very soon in our next module on Unit 4 of this very interesting subject, Business Organization and Communication. Till then, keep reading. Thank you.